Welcome to the Riff Report After Hours, the dimmest corner on the internet. I'm Tyler,
And I'm Ryan.
and hey, we've got something to revisit, but also new for you. Welcome to the Riffies, dude. I'm wearing my best shirt. Ryan is not. That's a pretty good shirt, though. I like it.
It's gold.
It's gold. Yeah, that's fair. That's a very fair cop. But yeah, we've got a fun little thing going on for you guys. We started this a few months ago, and now we're coming home on it. You know what I mean? But Ryan, what are we doing with this one today? What do you got planned?
Yeah. So, like you alluded, um, we talked about this at first when they announced the nominations for the
Hmm.
Grammys. I'm not sure when that happened. I want to say probably somewhere in November or
Yeah.
December. I don't think it was as late as December. I think it might have been somewhere around November. But
Right.
either way, we talked about the different categories that are applicable to what we talk about here, which is rock and metal. And the Grammys happened last night when we're recording this. When you're listening to this, like 5 days ago. So you probably already seen a lot of this shit. But we're gonna go through. We're gonna talk about who we voted for these specific awards, and then we're going to talk about who actually won, and we're going to share our thoughts on that situation.
Hell
So,
yeah.
for starters, we got best rock performance, and I know that we had a little bit of confusion, I think, before as to what they mean by performance. Um, but basically, the little notes that I got for this is for new vocal or instrumental, solo, duo, or group collaborative rock recordings. So that's also still very vague for me. I don't know what really that
Yeah.
means, but
Exactly.
either way, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to base it off of the song. And if there are potential obvious performances that we can think of, we could talk about that. But
Yeah.
the nominations, the nominees for best rock performance were the song "You Should Not Be Doing That" by Amyl and the Sniffers, "The Emptiness Machine" by Linkin Park, "Never Enough" by Turnstile. Uh, Help me out with this one, Tyler. You're better at these than
Mertazapine.
I am. "Mirtazapine" by Haley Williams, and "Changes" live from Villa Park, "Back to the Beginning" by primarily Youngblood, but with help from Nuno Betancourt, Frank Bello, Adam Wakeman, and two from Sleep Token.
Yeah.
um, all right, first things first. So, Tyler, what was your pick in this category when we talked about it
I'm
before?
so glad that we labeled these because I would have not remembered it so long later. So long of a time later. But I chose "You Should Not Be Doing That" by Amel and the Sniffers. Um, I just thought it was a great song, had a good energy to it. I thought this had something to do with like videos and actual performances. Uh,
Yeah.
I thought the video was fucking awesome. So, and I kind of love the energy of this band. So I picked, yeah, Amel and the Sniffers. I guess I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
this one was the I'm listening to the track right now, but this one was the one where it's like her and the dude like just like fucking around like
Yeah.
out and about, right?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. They're just dancing through fucking like LA or something, you know,
Yeah. No, I
skanking
remember
around
this
LA.
music video,
Yeah.
and I like these guys. Um, they kind of give me like old school female fronted punk vibes.
Right.
Um, it just has like a vintage feel to the music, but
Exactly. Right. I thought that was so cool.
dude, the music video was what got me before. Um, the dancing is a little cringy for me, but I'm
Oh,
like I'm not
you're
a
not a
dance
dancing
kind of
guy.
guy.
I've been to a wedding with you.
No.
You're not a dancing guy. We sit at the table and we laugh at everybody else dancing. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. When I'm with
I
Kat
go
though,
out
we'll cut a rug. Me and Kat. We'll slow
all
dance it
right.
a little bit. We'll get together. But like I said, I was with my
Believe it or
boy that
not,
day. So
believe it or not, at my brother's wedding, one of my brothers,
yep.
um, I caught a pretty good buzz
Okay.
because I was in the wedding, so I had been drinking long before anybody got
Yeah.
there.
Of course.
And my son and my niece and nephew were there, and we were getting down.
Hell yeah.
Um, but that
I love
does
that.
not happen most of the time.
Right.
Either way, this music video is awesome.
Yeah. What did you end
Um,
up? Yeah. What did you end up picking?
yeah, I ended up picking Changes by Youngblood and crew.
Mhm.
This is a Ozzy Osbourne cover, obviously. Um, and this happened live at the Back to the Beginning um concert, the final Sabbath concert.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm looking it up right now so I can play the music so that I have it in the background. But I purchased tickets to the live stream of this show, so I saw this when it happened. I also saw my Instagram feed just like blow the shit up
Right.
right after this happened with clips from this. And I will say I was never a big Young Blood fan before. I did kind of get into him a little bit when he and MGK and Travis Barker put out the track I Think I'm Okay. And then I feel like he was also in some other stuff with that same kind of crew. Oh yeah, he was on MGK's first pop punk album, Tickets to My Downfall, with Burt McCracken from The Used on a song
Okay.
called Body Bag. Uh and I enjoyed that. So I'm not a huge Young Blood fan, but I do appreciate him a little bit, and I didn't realize how close he was with Ozzy Osbourne.
Right.
But apparently Ozzy loved him, and I'll trust Ozzy's fucking opinion in
Right.
his sober days. Um, but yeah, I really like this track. I thought he did a really good job, and I also Um, nothing against Animal and the Sniffers, great track, but I liked it a little better than that. The Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park. I did not like that song. I
Right.
do not like Linkin Park with the new singer. I don't want any part of it, so they're not getting my vote.
Right.
Um, Never Enough by Turnstile was good, but I don't know if it's as good as Changes.
Right.
And then the Haley Williams track. I I like Paramore a lot. I like Haley Williams a lot, but this album, her solo album, I just didn't get into it.
Yeah.
Um,
I kind of feel that as well.
yeah,
It
I mean, I
compared to
wanted
everything else
to.
in this category, it just seemed a little subdued, you know what I mean? Like maybe best alternative performance or something. Like when you're talking about
Right.
rock, that's the thing. The Grammys, and we'll probably talk about this more later throughout this, but like the Grammys
Oh, we
is just a
will.
bunch of old corporate fucking shills in suits, men and women who are so disconnected from the zeitgeist that they're just gonna vote for the thing they're comfy with. You know what I mean? I don't think it has any sort of hand in actual, like I said, performances and that, like I said, the videos, like all that kind of stuff. They just kind of pick the one that's the most, I don't know, corporate backed, I guess I would say. I don't know. It just seems to me like they're just really disconnected and wrong, and I don't know. That's my 2
Yeah.
cents on it. So,
Yeah, I would be. So I didn't know how any of this worked because
uh
I, like I said, I don't really care about the Grammys all that much.
right.
Never have. But I just searched how artists are nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
And basically this is the Grammy nominations work through a 2-round peer voting process by the Recording Academy members. Um starting with submissions from labels and artists, which are screened for eligibility and placed into categories. In the first round, members vote on these entries, and the top scoring works become the official nominees.
Okay.
With the general field having 8 nominees and most other categories having 5, a second round of voting then selects the winners.
Okay.
So, yeah, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
That's what, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Now they've been right. Like I said, Mastodon's won a Grammy. That's fine. And I have nothing against Youngblood winning this. I'm not mad that my choice wasn't picked. I'm just a small guy in a big old
We
world.
didn't
I'm a little fish in a big
we didn't
pond.
tell everybody that yet.
Oh, did I just screw the pooch?
Yeah,
Oops.
it's all right.
All right, my bad.
So yeah, Youngblood won.
All right, I'll
So
I'll be careful this next time.
I was right.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
or at least my opinion was right this
yeah.
time.
Right.
But
And I don't know. I kind of, when we talked about it, I remember talking back to it. Like I knew I was gonna lose this guess. I figured they would pick the Ozzy Osbourne thing for a good reason. You know what I mean? I actually watched the video. I finally watched the video. Um, because this whole time I haven't seen any part of Back to the Beginning except for I think Lamb of God and Mastodon's performance.
yeah.
Noticing how he had worked the crowd, the emotions that were charged during the whole performance. It was powerful. Like that was good. So
Yeah, it was damn good.
I'm not mad about that.
I mean, it debatably that was the highlight of the whole concert. If you take out the pieces that Ozzy Osbourne was a part of.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
but no, honestly, I seriously thought that trash ass fucking Lincoln Park was gonna win this. I'm happy that it didn't.
Yeah.
I'm so happy they didn't.
Same. I don't know. You don't
Um,
maybe I just haven't been following them, but have you heard like anything from the Lincoln Park camp since this time? Since they released some of those tracks? They don't
I
really come
did.
up that much anymore.
No, I heard something about him
Okay.
recently. I can't remember what it was about, but yeah, I've heard about him. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Um. All right. Next category we got is
Uh-huh.
best metal performance. Um, Same deal for new vocal or instrumental, solo, duo, group, or collaborative metal recordings. So we're just gonna go based off of the tracks, and the nominees were uh Night Terror by Dream Theater, uh Lacrima, I don't care, by Ghost, Emergence by Sleep Token, Soft Spine by Spirit Box, and Birds by Turnstile. Now, this category is a little better suited than the rock category, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Right.
What was your choice for this one, Tyler?
My choice was Soft Spine by Spirit Box. I've heard so much of Spirit Box in the last, honestly, couple of years. I feel like they've been just all over the news, in terms of metal. They've been on, talk shows. A lot of us metal fans have just been super into Courtney's vocals. And they're awesome all around. So, having listened to Soft Spine since it came out, I felt that this was the appropriate winner. Kind of compared now for me specific. I guess any of my choices were a little um I guess I'll say
Biased.
selfish. Like it's things that I liked, you know what I mean? I want them
Yeah.
to win, so I'm gonna pick those, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now, categorically and according to everyone else's or at least every other band's popularity, there's definitely a few bands in some of these categories, and this one specifically. On my side, I wanted Spirit Box to win, but I figured that Sleep Token might win because I know they got a huge fan base and they've been making a lot of rounds, in the news circuits and everything. They just had a huge blow up. So, but yeah, Soft Spine is the one I had picked by Spirit Box.
All right. Um, I I don't remember my thought process behind picking this last time. I think it was because when we decided best metal performance, we assumed that it was a specific performance
Right.
in which we talked about um, their drone footage from Louder
Yeah.
Than Life with
Right.
Poppy. If that was the case, then my vote made sense to go with Spirit Box. I was a big fan of Emergence by Sleep Token as well. And I was a big fan of Birds by Turnstile.
Right.
But I ended up going with Spirit Box too. So this was the first category where we both guessed the same thing.
Right.
And did you see the video footage of Spirit Box performing Soft Spine at the Grammys this year?
No, and I meant to. I did see that they had what I saw was a bunch of metalheads on Reddit like reenacting how people reacted to Spirit Box performing at the Grammys, and I thought that was the funniest shit. But no, unfortunately, I didn't get to catch that. I'll pull it up right now just so I can see.
Yeah.
But
I will go out and say um it is awesome to have some metal at the show. Um I thought this was kind of a weak performance, unfortunately. I thought Courtney kind of felt like she was holding back.
oh
She
yeah,
didn't do that great of a job. Yeah, I don't know. Um, I've also been less impressed with her stage appearance as of recently. She's kind of like leaning into this, like, I want to look sexy kind of deal
right,
where she used to like be a little more authentic and more metal when
right.
she was performing. Now she kind of does a lot of these like butt flips and shit like that.
Hmm.
That I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, but all in all, this was a great song. Um, as are the majority of them. I'll even say this Ghost song is not that bad. Um,
Yeah,
this Dream Theater song, I'm not a big Dream Theater song guy either, and this song's pretty good. Um, And I know you said you thought that Sleep Token, you expected Sleep Token to win this one. I actually
I
expected
did.
Ghost to win this one.
You think so?
Yeah,
It's the
I don't
easiest
think
accessible metal for normies, I'll say.
that's the most Grammy metal in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um
exactly.
Sleep Token does have a pretty big following and it has kind of blown up, but I don't think they have in the eyes of the recording press, you know?
Right.
So, but either way, I didn't bring up. I forgot to bring up. I watched all of these people. Um, sort of. I watched 4 out of 6 of
Okay.
the categories, except their awards. So I did watch Young Blood and crew go up to accept the Grammy for changes,
Uh-huh.
I did think it was cool that he brought up Sharon with him on stage, which was, I
Nice.
thought, awesome. Um, but yeah, the winner for best metal performance was Up Birds by Turnstile. We were both wrong.
Yes, we were.
We were not only both wrong with our choices, but with the choices that we thought the Grammys were going to go with.
Exactly. That's crazy to me. I don't know. Has Turnstiles never won a Grammy before, have they?
They have not.
Okay.
I don't
Gotcha.
believe so. Um, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Um, they did have Glow On come out in 2022 or something like that.
Oh.
And that album took off pretty fucking heavily, but I don't know if it won a Grammy.
Yeah, I don't think so. Which is fine. Hey, that's cool. Like just the fact that we, in all of this, the fact that we just get representation now in something that has normally been viewed or seen as something that doesn't have room for metal fans, it's a big corporate event, big celebrities are there, like,
Right.
some of the more pop. It just seems like one of those things. It's like I used this term before and I'm gonna use it again. It's for the normies, you know what I mean? But the
Well,
fact
then,
that we're getting this is cool enough to me. You know what I mean? Whether or not my vote's won or not.
do you think that given the representation that we have had, do you think that you that we even want to be involved in this?
Honestly, no. What I think should happen is make the Grammys, for pop music, for like radio rock and shit like that. Things that more
Billboard
people,
shit.
the general Billboard, make it the Billboard Top 100 and make them all, kind of fight. Granted, metal music is involved in that. There's different genres, but I think there should be a
Sometimes
specific, right. I think there should be a specific rock, metal, punk, hardcore, something a little bit more
award
down to
show.
earth, more exactly. I think there should be something like that where people who come in understand the music, understand the history behind it, and actually appreciate it. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking we need to just keep fighting and clawing our way up to the top of the game. Take down Jesse Lee as a music journalist. We'll be number one. He can be number two. And then make so much money that we can buy a warehouse and we set up the music Grammys and we call it the Riffies and that's my dream.
Hey,
That's what I think. That's
we
what
could
I think should
try.
happen. You know what I mean?
We could
So,
try.
nothing against Jesse Lee,
I
but yeah,
I
I
will
think we
say
should
that
aim for that, dude.
I will say that a small format version of that idea already does exist with the Nick Nocturnal Awards.
Uh-huh.
And he does a pretty good job of it.
Hell yeah.
So
Sick.
um
Well, I'm glad
for
that
as
worked
long
out.
as that for as long as he can keep doing it and we don't have the ambition to create something bigger, I'll just go
Right.
ahead and let him fucking take care
That's
of
cool. That's fine. I
it.
should check that out then. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, that's just my dream. You know what I mean? It's no big deal.
Yeah. Hell yeah. No,
Right.
no big deal. No big deal.
Right.
All right. Next category we got um is these are big words. Um I was just thinking, holy crap. There's only one metal section, huh?
Yeah.
It's just best metal performance.
Right.
Everything else is about rock.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get our own thing, dude.
That's bullshit.
Right.
Anyways, next category we got is best rock song. The cliff notes for this are a a songwriter award, which includes rock, hard rock, and metal songs. A song is eligible if it was first released or it was first achieved prominence during the eligibility year. Artist names appearance. Uh, Artist names appear in parentheses. It could be singles or tracks only. So the nominees for best rock song of 2025 was As Alive as You Need Me to Be by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, aka Nine Inch Nails. Uh, Caramel by Sleep Token. Glum by Haley Williams. Never Enough by Turnstile. And Zombie by Youngblood. And I can already tell you right now, we got a lot of reoccurring bullshit happening here because I'm
Exactly.
seeing Sleep Token, Haley Williams, Turnstile,
Yep.
and Youngblood yet again.
Exactly. See,
So
that's what I'm saying, dude. These
first
are
time,
disconnected individuals. We're like, oh, everybody loves these guys. We'll just vote for them.
yeah,
Blowing their
right.
load, dude.
Yep.
In inappropriate ways.
What did you pick the first time around?
I hated myself for this, but out of everything in this list, I kind of went with that more kind of general vote, what I thought would win versus what I wanted to win. I ended up going with Caramel by Vessel 1 and 2 as the songwriters for Sleep Token. So, as we know, and as you especially know, I'm not the Sleep Token fan here. You are. So, for me to just reach out and kind of throw you a bone, that's what I ended up doing on this category. So,
Well, for one, I do think it is weird that I'm the Sleep Token fan between the two of us because um you constantly talk about how you don't really care for like straight brutal heavy stuff. You care more
right.
for um
Kind of more
composition
ambient,
and
like
shit.
composition, exactly. And then I'm like, ugh, fuck
Eh,
Sleep Token, dude. No, it's
yeah.
because I'm a hipster at heart, and if they're popular, I hate them. That's what it is. It's selfish and greedy
You
and stupid of me. That's what it
you
is,
said
okay?
that you said that to me about something the other day and it made me laugh. You're like, yeah, too many people like that right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and not do that until
Exactly.
10 years from now. Then I'll go check it
Right.
out.
Yeah.
But you know what, dude? I can appreciate your persistence with the matter,
Thanks.
but I will go ahead and say I was that hipster at one point when Game of Thrones first came out.
Yeah.
I would not touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. Didn't want anything to do with it. Thought it was just fucking mainstream bullshit that people were
Exactly.
into.
It's all
It
sex,
wasn't
dude.
that.
Sex
Yeah,
sells.
it's
Come
all
on.
just
Right.
sex and fucking sword fights, dude.
Right.
And I don't care about that. I got better shit to do. And then 15 years later, I finally binged watched all of it and
It's
I
really been that long.
love it.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know how long it's been, but 10 years maybe at least. Cuz I remember
Uh,
living in Bridgman, which was like
no, you're exactly
8
right. It
8 years
launched.
ago.
This the books have been out forever, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
uh
right.
the show started in 2011. That was the year I graduated. So you'd have been out for 2 years. I think you were oh
Yep.
09. So
Yep.
yeah. Nope, 15 years. Exactly.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I'll say it was not worth it to hold off and not watch the show.
And just so you
At the
know, it
time, I
ended 7 years ago. 2019 was when it ended. So
yeah, and I
Jesus.
hadn't started watching it yet.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, part of it was the fact that I didn't have HBO, and
Right.
I thought it was stupid. Um, but then I figured out how awesome it was, and I just missed out on all the conversations I could have had with everybody while they were watching it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think at that point, you're depriving yourself of quality conversation and camaraderie.
I don't know. I watch enough sword and board high fantasy like stuff anyways that I don't know. I feel like I'm really not missing out that much. I can, as I get older, I can kind of agree with you, you know, some of those, and having discussions about missing old programming in terms of TV shows and movies, like, the
Yeah.
point of a lot of these, or at least, like, the nostalgia factor of it was, you know, before streaming, like, that's what we did as a populace, was watch these weekly releases of shows, talk about it around the water cooler or in the
Yep.
lunchroom if we weren't working, you know, when we were younger.
You
And
get your
that's
show every Friday at 5 p.m.
exactly, and you had to watch it, you
Yep.
know, unless you had, like, TiVo, then you could record it and then watch it later, but that's what I'm saying,
But
like,
you were
you had to
probably gonna
catch it
miss
when it
it.
was on, but
Yeah.
exactly, you know, and that no longer exists, so, yeah. I You're right, okay? You're fucking right. I should watch things as they come out and, you know, if they're popular, like the new Fallout show. I'm a huge Fallout fan. I haven't caught a single episode of the show. Um, on the flip side of it, I'm super happy I waited to watch Rings of Power. I This last year finally caught up on the 2 seasons they have out now, and everyone was super mad about it, and they're like, "Fuck this shit. Don't give them your time. Don't give them your money." I kinda liked it. I thought it was cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just a weird fucking guy, I guess. I
I
enjoy
had
shitty things and hate
I have
popular
not
things.
watched Rings of Power yet. I
Dude,
did pirate all of it,
you
and
need
I
to
will
watch
be
it.
getting into it.
I don't give a fuck what anyone says. They're mad that black people are in it. That's what it is, okay? That's what everyone's mad about.
Whoa.
Look on Reddit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
They're just
black
mad
people can
that
be
there's
involved.
representation and they think it's woke and whatever. They're wrong.
What do they think?
It's
They think black people didn't exist in Middle Earth?
Let me tell
Come
you
on.
a fun fact. Nothing existed in Middle Earth because Middle Earth is not real. It can be anything you want, guys. Who
That's true.
fucking cares? It's a made up
Well,
story by a guy who did language as his profession.
maybe.
He's a professor of language.
Maybe.
Lord of the
Maybe.
Rings is hold on, how do I describe this? Lord of the Rings is a story to justify Tolkien's creation of the Elven language. That's all it is. It was literally just made to make the Elven language something. He was a linguistics guy.
Uh
He loved language, okay? Lord of
I
the
don't
Rings was
know.
just a side story.
I don't know. That kind of
Prove
sounds
me
like
wrong.
you you kind of sound like a fucking atheist, dude, cuz I don't know. Lord of the Rings is kind of like a Bible to me.
Whatever, man. I I love Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. I read between the lines,
No,
Theo.
I was making a joke about
Yeah.
Christianity. Sorry.
Hell yeah. Sick. Don't apologize.
I'm not.
It's not our
Either
show,
way,
dude. Yeah. What did you vote for?
so
I don't think you told anybody.
yeah, back to it. I didn't tell anybody. I also voted for Caramel.
Right.
Not because of uh your hipstery reasons, but
Right.
because I genuinely think that this song is fucking awesome. I really enjoyed it when it first came out. I thought it was a really catchy song, has a lot of really good um rhythm to it. The lyrics are pretty solid. And as all good Sleep Token songs in my eyes, I hated it when I first listened to it, and it took two or three times of me listening to it to come around, which I've come to figure out is just how this band works for me. But unfortunately, we were both wrong because
Yes. Yes, we were.
old boy Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails won with As Alive as You Need Me to Be, which I didn't look this up, but I assume is off the Tron soundtrack. Um, that would be
I
the
went and
only,
watched
only
the
thing that
movie
makes sense.
and I don't know. Yes.
Y- yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I can imagine. I can literally put the fucking scene in my head. Yeah.
okay.
This is
Yeah. I mean, I
very
didn't see the
Jared Leto
movie.
coded.
Um, I'm sure it's probably good. I like Tron, but for you to have a soundtrack song be best rock song of the year, Man, that's fucking crazy.
Right.
Because I mean, I like soundtracks. I think they're cool, but I've never really been like I've been impressed with soundtracks as a whole, but I've never
Uh-huh.
been like super impressed by like songs that were made specifically for a soundtrack for a movie.
Right.
Um, so this is just a surprise for me, you know.
Right.
Um, Haley Williams, we've already covered that. I love her. Both of us love her. I think she's talented, but I don't know if that's really the best rock song of the year.
Right.
Never Enough by Turnstile. Sorry, it's not. I mean, this this album was basically the same as the last album. So
Right.
um I can't give that to them. And then as much as like I said, I've been appreciating Youngblood a lot lately. Um I do not like the song Zombie. I think it's pretty lame actually.
You heard it
Um
here first.
so
Right. Hell yeah.
so congratulations, Nine Inch Nails, I
Yeah.
guess. But what are
Dude.
you
No,
gonna
well deserved. All right. I'm glad that they won.
do?
Okay.
It's better than what it could have been, I
I'm gonna
guess.
be that guy.
But
I'm a fucking weirdo. All
yeah.
right, here I am admitting it on the Riff Report. You guys, if you listen to that last episode where I talked about Nine Inch Nails and their fans, I'm fucking one of them. All right, I'm a fucking weirdo.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Tyler's at home fucking listening to Nine Inch Nails and fucking fanning over Sydney Sweeney movies.
You didn't have to go that
Um
far.
all right, next category we got is best rock album. Uh the note for this category is for albums containing greater than 75% playing time of new rock, hard rock, or metal recordings. Our nominees for this category are Private Music by Deftones, I Quit by Haim, From Zero
Gesundheit.
by huh?
I said Gesundheit.
Oh yeah, sorry. From Zero by Linkin Park, Never Enough by Turnstile, and Idols by Youngblood. Tyler, what's your pick here?
I picked Deftones. I've been a medium fan of them for a long time. Um, well, they did pretty good with this new album, so I was happy to see them kind of back and in the views of everybody with this new album. I hadn't really listened to Haim before this, and haven't really listened to him after. Linkin Park, I'm gonna go ahead and just take the words right out of your mouth from earlier. I don't give a shit. Turnstile, I think they're getting a lot of. I think they got nominated for enough. All right, come on.
Yeah.
And Youngblood, I just haven't really got into. So I figured Deftones, and especially with the history that Deftones has, I figured there'd at least be a nod to um them having them being able to contend with some of these newer artists coming out and what they've been putting out. The fact that they can still put out great music after so long. I feel like a lot of bands kind of lose their edge, lose their spark after so long, but Private Music was pretty good, so I ended up voting for that.
Yeah. Um, I also voted for Deftones in this category before. Um, Not specifically because I love this album, because me being a longtime Deftones fan, um, this one was good, but didn't really excite me. Um, don't hate me. I like it still. Just didn't think that I don't know about best rock album of the year.
Yeah.
Um, but when you put it up against the rest of the albums that were nominated, it's the best choice for me.
You know what I mean?
Um,
Right.
they make it hard because they're not exactly picking what we would have picked.
Exactly.
Um, as you guys probably know, because if you watched our New Year's Eve episode or a New Year's episode, we talked about what we would have chosen.
Right.
Um, but unfortunately, both of us were wrong, and Deftones did not win, and a lot of people were upset online that they had been snubbed. Deftones, your your rationale for picking them was correct because Deftones has in fact won Grammys in the past. Um, they ended up with a Grammy for best metal performance with their song Elite from White Pony in 2001,
Okay.
which is pretty fucking early.
Yeah.
Um, but then they also won best metal performance for their song Genesis in 2022. So recently they've won a Grammy, and deservedly because they're legit. They've got some amazing work in their past catalog. But I I don't know. I probably would have picked them here. Unfortunately, Never Enough by Turnstile was chosen, and I s- I make it sound like it's the worst thing in the world. Like I hate Turnstile now or some shit, but I don't. Um, I am like I was saying earlier. I watched the acceptance clips
Hmm.
from these categories, and I don't know, man. There was something about when Turnstile came up. Um, they just seemed very corporate and ingenuine, and
Yeah.
I was really hoping for it to go the other way around. I was really hoping that Turnstile would be the group to come out and cause a ruckus and turn shit up the way that hardcore should,
Right.
but they
No.
didn't. They were a bunch of pussies.
Bitched out, dude. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Still a very good album.
I'm gonna
I
record
just
an
find it.
episode of a podcast about it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, there you go. What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna talk
Right.
shit online.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah, still a good album. Go check it out if you haven't. I don't know if it's best rock album of the year, but
Right.
um, the Grammys think it is. So there you go. All right, moving on. We got two last categories to talk about. The first of which is best alternative music performance. This is for a new vocal or instrumental solo duo group or collaborative alternative music recording. Your nominees are as follows: Everything is Peaceful Love by Bon Iver. Um, we got Alone by The Cure. Seeing Stars by Turnstile yet again. Uh Monge 2 by Wet Leg, and then Parachute by yet again Haley Williams. Um this one is kind of nice to see things change up a little bit, but we still got Turnstile and Haley Williams in there, and I'm happy that they're getting their recognition, but
Right.
still, come on, guys.
Exactly.
Um what'd you pick the first time, Tyler?
This one, I kind of thought about the category and some of the other performers in it. I'm not really that familiar with Bon Iver. I feel like around this time when we were talking about it, we put it in our little itinerary. I ended up giving, yeah, oh yeah, Sable Fable. I ended up listening to this album. I didn't think it was bad, but it just
Yeah.
seemed a little off track for me. For
He's a
alter
little on the lighter side, I
That's
think,
what I'm
right?
saying, you know what I mean? Granted, it is alternative music, so you would almost kind of expect it to be a little bit lighter. It's not a rock, it's not a metal, it's
Right.
that kind
But
of
compared to
lighter,
the rest of
chiller.
the
Exactly, and especially, yeah, compared to
group,
the rest of everybody. Now, Haley Williams's album that she had put out kind of had the same
pretty
feel,
light.
with some upbeat, moments, and not necessarily heavy, but um, Wet Leg. I have enjoyed listening to them for a little while now. Turnstile, yeah, same deal. I was just like, I'm sick of hearing about you guys. Like, just fucking sit down.
Yeah.
And The Cure, like Cure's been kind of a weird thing for me. I feel like a lot of people like just assume that I'm into The Cure. I don't know why. Um, and I've
Is it
listened
because you
to
wear
them for
makeup?
sure. I don't wear makeup, or I just paint my nails. It's not quite there.
I'm
Um,
just busting your balls.
I know. I'm glad you're here to do that for me. But yeah, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. So I ended up voting for Haley Williams. I thought out of all these songs, I really did enjoy her performance on Parachute and listening to the album um, throughout it all, compared it to everybody else. So that was my vote.
Oh yeah. I I chose Monge 2 by Wet Leg.
Oh yeah,
Um, I'm a big fan of these guys. Especially over the past year, I found out about them, and I fucking love them. They got a good groove to them. They got a good attitude about them.
right,
They're from overseas, so a little bit different style, and I've been liking the UK style as of recently.
right,
Um, let's see, alt best alternative. Yeah, I did. I'm not a Bon Iver guy. So that just wasn't up my alley. Um, I like The Cure. I specifically like The Cure from the 80s and 90s.
right.
Um, can't say that I've really followed them in recent times. But I am listening to the song now just to see what's going on. Um, and then Seeing Stars by Turnstile. Good track, but I don't know about best. And then Parachute by Haley Williams. Like I said, didn't really get into the album all that much. I did give it a little gloss over recently, and
Mhm.
there's good stuff on there. I just don't know that I would call it the best, you know?
Okay, yeah,
So I went with Monch 2. And unfortunately, neither of us were right
right,
again.
yeah,
Um, which is becoming a trend and makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
And I'll save it. I'll save it to the end to talk about more. But the winner ended up being The Cure with
Hell yeah.
Alone.
It's nice.
And
And reading up a little bit, that was their first and only Grammy win after 50
really,
years. Yes.
really,
Yep.
damn. Um, well, good for them. I feel like they deserved to have a Grammy.
Right.
Um, should have been for a long time ago. But we can't turn back time, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
But this song is weak.
You think so?
I don't, yeah, I don't know if you've listened to it at all, but
I'm listening to it now. I popped it on.
it's pretty weak, dude. This is
Yeah.
the best. This is the best alternative song of the year right here. This is what you're calling the best alternative song of the year. That's pretty disappointing.
That's what I'm saying. Granted,
This
they are
year
a little bit older
sucks.
and probably don't necessarily like they were never really like super energetic. Like it's the fucking Cure. Like looking at the front, man, like they're a shoegaze band, they're low
I'm not
energy, but this
I'm
is
not talking shit
I
about The
know.
Cure. I'm talking
Right.
shit about the recording press
Yeah.
for choosing this song as the winner.
Right.
Because no offense to The Cure, but this song is not the best that they have to offer by any means.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Which
I
is
don't.
crazy because this album came out in 24.
Yeah,
So that right
yeah.
there, I'm not saying should like disqualify them, but
Well, it
uh
said in the qualifying time period, and given the fact that the nominations came out had to have come out in either um October or November or something like that.
Right.
I'm assuming the year is not start to finish. I think it's got to
Exactly.
be a year
From the
span.
Grammy to the next Grammy, you know what I mean? That's fair.
Right, right, right.
So, yeah. Which
But
I guess kind of snubs people who release great fucking albums at the end of the year. Well, I guess not really.
it doesn't.
They can
It
get
just puts them in the category for next year.
possibly because then you have the whole rest of the year to contend with. Like if you drop an album in November before the nominations or after the nominations, but in the same year,
Right.
then you have to fight with December through
You have a
November
lot
of the
more
next year.
time. You have a
Exactly, you
lot
know what I
more
mean?
time to contend,
Right, exactly. So,
I get what you're saying. I
yeah,
think that could hurt you and it could help you
right,
because it could hurt you in the sense that your songs could get forgotten about by the time
right.
considerations come. But it also could help you in the fact that that gives you more time for your song to pick up steam and
Exactly.
popularity.
Right, and just have people keep listening to it and listening if it's good enough, you know what I
So,
mean?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe your song comes out in November and you get picked in January to be on a Audi commercial and then everybody's listening to your shit.
exactly. So, yeah, it's a help harm maybe kind of thing. So,
Yeah, right. You never know. Either way, congratulations to the Cure. The last category that we have is best alternative music album. And this is going to be for vocal or instrumental. Your nominees are pretty fucking similar,
yeah.
with one little surprise.
Yeah.
And that is we got Sable Fable by Bon Iver. We got Songs of a Lost World by The Cure. We got the surprise here, which is Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler the Creator,
Hell yeah.
which all right, hold on. I gotta put this album on. Just because
You'll probably know
um
the song Sugar on My Tongue. I feel like it pops up a lot.
well, maybe. I'm just gonna put that on. But no, I don't know this song.
Okay.
Either way, um, this doesn't exactly strike me as an alternative music album. But either way, what do I know? Um, anyways, so yeah, going back, we got Sable Fable by Bon Iver. We got Songs of a Lost World by The Cure. We got Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler the Creator. We got Moisturizer
Moist.
by
You're right.
Wet Leg. And we got Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Haley Williams. So we're getting this is almost exactly the same list as the last category,
Yeah.
but instead of Turnstile, we're seeing Tyler the Creator. So I'll
Hell yeah.
forgive it because at least Turnstile's
Finally.
disappearing.
Right.
But what'd you think, Tyler? What'd you vote for last time?
My vote was completely selfish. I picked Tyler the Creator, Don't Tap the Glass. I didn't really listen to this album that much, but I absolutely love Tyler the Creator as an artist, as an entertainer, as a musician. I was a huge Odd Future fan. I followed a lot of the guys in that group and Sid as well. Um, for a long time. That was just my squad days, you know what I mean? So just to see Tyler the Creator up here, on this stage after having been I don't know, like been given so much vitriol and anger and disgust from people throughout the years to see him change his vibe, change his music style, do the things he wants to do compared to what he thought he had to do. I was just super proud of the guys, so I would have absolutely loved to have seen him. I, honest to God, when I voted for this, didn't think he was gonna win, but that's fine. If he has one fan, let it be another Tyler, all right? And that's me. I voted for Tyler the Creator.
Hell yeah. Um, little side note.
Oh,
So so there's a lot of these like meetup events with people with the same name.
Uh-huh.
Have you looked up to see if there's any meetings of the Tylers?
No, honestly. I just wait for the next moment where I meet another Tyler and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Tyler Strong, Tyler
I mean
Pure,"
that
you know? And that's
that's
it. Like, it's just kind of a meetup thing. Like, that's our meetup thing. We just see each other, you know? I
yeah.
almost had one the other day. It's funny that you mentioned that. Yesterday, while I was working at the bar, I had a call in for a pickup, and when I got through the whole order and I asked the guy his name, he said Kyler, but over the phone, music's playing. I had a few tables going on. I thought he said Tyler. I was like, no way, bro. I was like, I'm Tyler. And he's like, oh, no, no, no. It's Kyler. He's like, with a K. I was like, all right. I was like, that's close enough. I was like,
Oh, okay.
you can be a part of this. Like, you can be excited. Like, that's cool. We're just the same, you know. We're the same, but a different facet. You know what I mean? We're a different face.
Yeah. I
So
would
yeah.
I'll
But
give
I
you
go
I'll
off
give you
anytime.
props. I give you props because to be honest with you, if that was me, I would hate the guy. Um, but that's just because like I think that's like pretty similar to like a Ryan Bryan thing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Ryans do not like
Well,
Bryans.
because they're adding a whole extra letter. Like Kyler is just like a changed letter, but it's you know what I mean? Like I get that Brian Ryan and Kyler Tyler, they would seem, you know what I mean? But us Tylers,
Yeah.
we're pretty accepting. You know what I mean? I feel like it's been a pretty popular now. Okay, so I used to know zero Tylers. Like I was the only one. Like everyone else had normal ass John, James, Kevin, Dan, Ryan, like you know what I mean? Like I've met a lot of Ryans, all right. I've met a decent amount of Ryans in my life, but Tyler's I didn't know for a long time. I was the only one. There was one other Tyler in my life, and we were best friends in kindergarten. His dad was a falconer. He had a red-tailed hawk. It was so cool. You know
All
what I
right.
mean? And then I get out here back into Michigan, and I start high school in Berrien Springs. There's four Tylers in my graduating class, and one of them his real name was Joseph, and he went by Tyler, and I'm like, "That's what? Like, you
Was that
can't
his
just."
middle name
It
at
was his
least?
middle name. Yeah, it was his. It was.
Uh,
It was his middle name. But I'm like, before I even got into the picture, there's
you know,
two
you
other
can't be
Tylers.
a
You're the
yeah, you
third
can't be a
one.
fucking Tyler.
I was like, no, there's too many. That's fine. I was good
Yeah,
friends
you
with
go. You tell
one
him
of
to
them.
just fucking go off and
Exactly.
Joe like a fucking basic
That's what
bitch.
I'm saying. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
I hated that. So
All
But
right.
I will say, unfortunately, with Tyler's though, Tyler is a title given to Freemasons. It is the Freemason who guards the door. That is a Tyler. So I
It's
don't
an
think we get a
it's
lot
an
of
important job.
representation because of the. Hey man, you know what I mean? Who you can't let
Yeah.
everyone get in and see the human sacrifices and satanic
Yeah.
rituals. So somebody's got to be there, and I guess that's me. So
You definitely can't trust Orion.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Um. Oh, where were we?
Yeah.
We're in the
We're
last
we're gonna
category, right?
yeah. What do you?
You
Well, let's
picked
go. I
you
picked
picked
Tyler the
Tyler the
Creator.
Creator.
Exactly. That's how this all came up. What did you pick?
I picked Moisturizer by Wet Leg. Makes sense because in the last category, I picked Manju by Wet Leg.
Right.
Um, but I honestly, if we're talking about alternative music, which I listen to a tiny bit of, I
Uh-huh.
mean, I guess technically all I listen to is alternative music if you want to go that route.
Right.
But in the sense of what I assume alternative music is, I don't listen to a ton of it, but Wet Leg is fucking killing it, dude. This whole album is amazing. Um, I'm pretty sure I talked about it heavily in our New Year's episode as
Hmm.
well. But CPR blew up really big, especially with their NPR Tiny Desk set. Catch These Fists is a personal favorite of mine off this album. The lyrical content is hilarious. The beat behind it is awesome. Davina McCall's a little bit slower, but still a good one. Monch 2 is amazing. Pokemon, Pillow Talk, amazing songs off the record.
Right.
So I genuinely think that this album deserves best alternative music album, as opposed to some of the previous categories where I was
Right.
like, I don't know, best thing that I could pick, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I actually agree with this one. However, we were both wrong again.
Wrong again. Damn it. Right.
You were wrong again. Mama's
Don't
wrong
hire us,
again.
Grammys. No, hire
It
us so we
was
can
the
actually make good fucking decisions.
yeah, please. If the recording press is hiring, let us know.
Right. Yeah.
Um, the shocker best alternative music album went to The Cure
Hell
for
yeah.
songs of a Lost World, which is what Alone was off of. So congratulations to The Cure for
Going from 0
snatching
to
up.
2.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
went from 0 to 2 in 1 year. And to recap, um, best rock performance went to Young Blood and Crew for their cover of Changes at Back to the Beginning. Best metal performance went to Turnstile with their song Birds. And if you want a good video to watch of that, you should go check out their NPR Tiny Desk set where their singer Brendan does the first ever Tiny Desk stage dive, which was pretty fun.
Love that.
Best rock song went to Nine Inch Nails for As Alive as You Need Me to Be off of the Tron soundtrack. Best rock album went to Turnstile again for Never Enough. Best alternative music performance goes to The Cure for Alone. And best alternative music album goes to The Cure for Songs of a Lost World.
Hell yeah.
So another Grammys down, dude.
Yeah. Hopefully it
This
gets
one goes
better
out to
after
my
this.
homies.
Right. I already drank all my beers, so I'll join you in spirit.
I just spilt that all down my front.
Oh, damn.
It was on purpose.
Hell yeah.
Um, Now you can see it glistening in my beard, depending on
Whoa.
how you look.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that was fun, I guess. My little rant that I guess I'll put at the end of the episode that I was saying is, yeah, I don't know, dude. This, first of all, my little critiques that I will say is one, I feel like there should be, I don't know who comprises of this recording press and who is part of the group making decisions here, but just a little suggestion from somebody who actually listens to the genre. Maybe you should think about incorporating a specific line of people that can pick out these categories a little better than you.
Right.
Um, Another thought would be as much as I want to give people credit where credit is due, um, I kind of think that if you get nominated in one category, that you shouldn't be nominated for multiple categories. Um,
So, yeah, I agree with that. Like when it comes to like Turnstile, like getting, metal, rock, and alternative, like that's kind of bullshit to me, There's differences in
yeah,
these genres, you know what I mean?
right.
Um, in between that. How are you gonna say, oh yeah, this is metal, but this is also rock, but this is also alternative? Like there are differences in these genres. Now, it looks like just according to the AI on Google, there's 15,000 plus music industry professionals, including artists, producers, engineers, and songwriters. I think it's a numbers game. I think that's what it is. Like, there
Oh,
are
definitely.
so many more fans of non-metal than there are metal in this, I think, in this situation. So, you've
Agreed.
got 2,000 of them who actually know metal, or more, you know what I mean? But then the rest of them are like, oh, well, we got to fucking vote. So, let's just vote for this one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and the fact that it said that, like, labels and artists are like, they're putting their name in the hat, basically, is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of lame. I don't think labels should have anything to do with the deciding of who's involved in the Grammys or not. Like, that just fits into the pandering of the whole situation. But I think,
Some
I don't know,
terrible difficulties with my headphones right now.
don't do that. Um, well, while you hopefully figure your shit out right now, I'll bitch for just another minute. But I don't know. I think the Grammys themselves are just lame. Uh, I didn't watch the ceremony at all on TV live. I did catch some of the clips and stuff of the related things that I felt like I needed to watch, and just that alone was like lame, just boring, very sterile. Um, I don't know if I didn't see many other musical performances. I did catch a little clip from of Justin Bieber's performance of whatever the hell he was doing, and it was like that was fine, but I don't know. Like I said, I thought Spirit Box's performance was a little lame. I don't know who else played, but I'm sure they were equally as lame.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of popular people there being lame and doing lame stuff. I just fucking hate the whole thing in general.
Right.
It's dumb.
Exactly. I kind of
So,
agree with that. I don't know. I mentioned a couple times, but it's just a big corporate fucking thing. So for us, being on the fringe of society, being on the fringe of music, kind of going back to my little conversation about that whole music thing at work, where this group of individuals just felt it necessary to tell me that and what pissed me off the most about it, despite it, like I get it, not everyone's gonna like my music, whatever, but you're gonna sit there and talk to me as a human being and be like, "Oh, this is awful. This sucks. This is blah blah blah." You know what I mean? A lot of people feel that way, and to try and put this music on the national stage in front of everybody's eyes, it's not going to turn out the way we want. And a lot of these people are going to just kind of phone it in because they're like, I don't like this music, so I'm just going to vote for what I think is going to be blah blah blah. So
right,
it's a weird situation that we find ourselves in. The fact that we are getting some screen time, some vote time, the opportunity to perform these songs, in front of millions of people, I think is super cool. So like I kind of look at it on both ends. You know what I mean? It's cool that we're there. I wish we weren't though, because it's just not going to
right.
be represented the way it needs to be. So
It's not going to be what we want anyway.
exactly. So that's fine.
Well, that was the Riffies. Maybe next year we'll figure out some sort of anti-establishment, a way of
Yeah.
dealing with these um, nominations and whatnot. But that's all we got for today's episode of the Riff Report After Hours. So I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna tell you to like, subscribe, comment, DM us, send hate mail to our houses.
Please.
Um,
Right.
fucking catch us on the street and fucking give us a noogie. Whatever you want to do. But on the internet, the least that you could do is like and subscribe on Instagram at the.riff.report. Do the same thing on YouTube, which is honestly the more important side, at the Riff Report News, where you can catch new episodes of our news broadcast every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and new episodes of the Riff Report After Hours every Friday at 6 p.m. Uh, Follow us on Tidal if you're on there. We got some specially curated musical playlists that Tyler and I have curated specifically for you. Um, and that's a lie. I didn't do it for you. It's for me. I just put my favorite music in a playlist.
Right.
And that's what I put on when I get in the car. So if you want to vicariously live your life through my car stereo, check out our playlist. But in the meantime, stay loud, stay angry, and Tyler and I, we going to catch you in the pit.
I'm gonna catch you in the pit.